Hi, my name is Goddess Fiore and welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about how much money I've made in the first 6 months of being a financial dominatrix. And for reference, I have a career that I work almost full-time. I do about 28 to 35 hours a week for that, depending on how busy I am with it. And then I also day trade every day during the week. So that's 15 to 20 hours a week that I'm working on that. So as you can see, I have pretty limited time that I've been working on financial domination. So if you're someone who has a lot more free time, or you're a college student, maybe you have more time to be working on this, you might make more money than I did. So the first 6 months that I've been doing this, the things that I'm focusing on are number one, just establishing myself, getting everything set up, and building my persona and kind of my brand, okay? So that takes a time to build, to establish yourself. A lot of subs don't want to send to a brand new person. So I think as you go on, it's gonna get a little bit easier. I do think that that is the case. And I have a few lessons that I've learned along the way that I'm gonna pass on to you. So number one, I definitely recommend that you do your research before you start trying to do financial domination. I just kind of jumped right in, and that's kind of how I prefer to do things, is to learn as I go. I'm a very independent learner for the most part, but in this situation, reflecting back, I do think it would have been really helpful just to kind of maybe make your social media profiles, but then just to observe a little bit and see what other people are writing and how the whole community kind of operates before you jump right in. That's just my opinion. The second lesson I strongly recommend is to buy a guide. I bought a guide from someone named Goddess Alexa. She also goes by Hope Vicious, which I strongly recommend. I believe her guide is $77.77 now, and it's a written guide. It gives you all the platforms to get started on, everything that you really need to know about FD to get started. I also ended up making some video courses because I had a lot of people on TikTok asking me about pay pigs, because that's like a whole trend that was on TikTok right now. So I ended up making some video courses. So I have guides as well. And then there's also an Australian girl that does a great job, Australian goddess, Eliza Monique. Who I also highly recommend. So I would definitely suggest getting a guide. It's gonna save you so much time if you're brand new and you're just learning this. It's gonna literally save you hours from doing all the research online yourself, versus if it's all just in a guide for you to read. All the guides, my guides, Alexa's, and Eliza Monique, are all very affordable. And I think you'll get a lot of benefit from those. So I definitely suggest, if this is something that you're gonna do, to buy a guide before you start. And that'll save you a lot of time. The other thing I would say is that it's very important to know your boundaries before you start, as much as possible. Some of this, as you learn what it is and different quinks and that type of thing, then you will realize, where your boundaries are with certain things. But as much as possible, it's a really good idea to have your boundaries somewhat established of what you're willing to participate in and how you're willing to interact with people before you start, because subs a lot of times will push boundaries. So you need to have those set in place. The other lesson I learned was that although some DOMs can be very supportive, it's good to have a few that you've interacted with that, that are supportive of you and are helpful. I've had DOMs who I kind of connected with on different social media, and one of them actually even suggested a new social media platform for me to try out, because she really just connected with me and liked my content. But a lot of DOMs, because a lot of them do have this kind of rich, entitled attitude, a lot of them take it to heart and can actually be very rude, okay? So just be careful, because when I first started, I also had a Dom who was reaching out to me, and at first I thought she was being friendly and just asking a bunch of questions, but then I realized as the conversation went on that she wasn't being polite. She was just being nosy and almost probably making fun of me. Because whenever I asked her questions, she was just kind of ignoring me. And so just be very, very careful, and know that a lot of these people can be very competitive and kind of nasty, in my opinion. So just watch out. Some are great, and it's good to try to make friends, but just approach with caution and be careful who you choose to interact with, because some of them can be very negative. And there's also even I'm just going to throw this out there. There's a support group on Reddit that's supposed to be a support group for FDs, and although it's great to go in there and watch some of the conversation and learn that way, I've had some pretty bad experiences with some of the people in that group too. They will downvote you, they will leave rude comments on pretty much anything that people post, so be careful. There are a lot of negative people in this space, unfortunately. Another thing to be aware of is that a lot of financial dominatrixes will inflate the amount of money that they're making. I've seen a lot of posts where financial doms have been called out for posting like fake screenshots of sends from subs. The reason that they do this is to make it seem like they're getting a lot of money, because that inspires subs to send them money. If they see that they're making money from other subs, that kind of almost makes them feel like competitive, like they want to try to compete with the other subs that are sending money. So you will see this pretty often where financial doms are often inflating the amount of money that they're making. Not always. There are lots of financial doms that make quite a bit of money, thousands of dollars a day. There's no doubt about that, but there are a lot that inflate how much money that they're making. In this video, I'm going to give you the exact and true amounts of what I've made. It's not as much as I would have liked to have made, but I'm being honest in this video with exactly how much I've made. In the first 6 months, I'm fairly happy with my progress. I definitely would have liked to make more. I thought I would be making more than this. But like I said, the first few months, you're setting up all your accounts, you're getting established. There's a lot of subs that prefer to not send to somebody that's brand new. So there's lots of factors that go into this, but I'm proud to say that I have made it to the top 7.5% on Throne. So that's pretty exciting. And I'm in the top 28% on OF. So those are pretty good numbers for me. And I would have made a lot more money if I did more live streaming. The first couple months when I got everything set up, I read somewhere that it's a good idea to, if you are going to do live streaming, to do a lot right at the beginning, because they kind of push you out when you create your accounts on some of these platforms. So I initially did a lot of live streaming for like 2 months, but it was not maintainable for me because I work so much. I was literally coming home from work, and I also try to work out for like an hour a day, and then going right to the shower, putting makeup on, and then live streaming for a couple hours, and it was way too much for me. So I did make quite a bit more money those 2 months when I was live streaming more regularly. When you live stream, it's helpful to live stream for like at least 2 or 3 hours to really get more people in your room, and it can be a little challenging. And for me personally, I'm not a big talker. I actually am certified to teach yoga, but I only taught yoga for a very short time because it was so much talking, and I'm just not a big talker. So if you're somebody that can sit there and yap to yourself for 2 or 3 hours, you're gonna love live streaming and you'll make a lot of money. It was not for me. If somebody wants to do like a live drain, and they want to put a down payment and do something face-to-face live that way, or if I know that there's going to be somebody paying me to do a live stream, I'll do it. But for the most part, that has not been, it's been a good source of money, but I don't enjoy doing it. And for me, in my life, whether it's my professional career or anything else I've done, if I don't enjoy doing something, I'm not going to do it. I have to enjoy what I'm doing, and that's really important to me. With that being said, I will also say that I do hate posting on social media in general. I am not a big poster. I'm not the type of person that posts a million pictures of myself every day. So that has definitely been a challenge for me. But the upside is that as someone who doesn't take a lot of pictures of myself, it's been nice to kind of get some nice content of me looking nice, which I wouldn't normally do. So those have kind of been my challenges to push myself to do those things. But like I said, the live stream, I'm not saying I won't do it anymore, but I'm just doing it a lot less often because it is very taxing for me to do. And like I said, I'm just not a big talker. It takes a lot of talking to do. Okay, so let's get into the final amount of 6 months of doing financial domination. The total at the end of August, because I calculate all the money that I've made for each month at the end of the month instead of entering it every day. That would just take way too long. So I just enter the amount in that I've made on all my platforms at the end of the month. So the end of August ended up being $5,313. And then in the last few days, since it's the beginning of August, there's been 5 days that have gone by. I made another, what was it? Like $176 or something. So the grand total for 6 months of doing financial domination is $5,489. If you divide that over 6 months, that comes out to about $914 a month. So that's a fairly decent, side income that I have coming in. And like I said, I definitely feel like the first 6 months is just getting myself established. And I do think as I go on that this will increase. I'm expecting to see at least double, if not triple, the amount of money in the next 6 months. So we will see how that all works, because right now, I've established myself, I've set everything up. That takes a lot of work just to do that in itself. And now I'm working on perfecting my skills as a dom. So that's something I'm working on right now. I will say that I've noticed a lot of people that get into FD, sometimes you hear about this on TikTok or other social media, and there's people that make this sound like it's a quick, easy cash grab. And if you've seen any of my videos on TikTok, you know that I am very, very strongly against that. I always tell people it takes 1 to 3 months to start getting subs at all from this. So it takes a lot of time and energy to set up your accounts, to be posting consistently every day. And I've seen a lot of doms. There was one in particular, it was a really sweet girl that I had connected with, and she was only on there, I think, for 2 months, and then she kind of gave up because I guess she wasn't making money yet. And it takes time. This is not going to happen overnight. Maybe for some people it does. There are some people that start making money right away, but for most people, it's going to take a while to get the ball rolling and start getting subs. So you have to remember that. If you're going to do this, you need to take your time to do it correctly. You need to learn what you're doing, and you need to put the energy into getting everything set up before you actually start making money from it. So I hope this video was helpful. Like I mentioned, I have guides available if you're interested in those. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you would like to, and leave a comment with any questions that you have. If there's a lot of questions that come up, I'm happy to do videos about specific questions that you have. And if you do decide to do this, good luck, and feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for watching.